Hi everybody, welcome back to the Bolt Hole Biker. I'm on a patriotic ride today. It's the day that England play Italy in the final of the European Cup, and I'm not a massive football fan. I don't follow club football, but I am a massive England fan, and when England are playing the international games, oh yeah, I'm watching. But the game's not until about 8 o'clock this evening, and it's just gone 8 this morning. So, like the rest of the country, I don't know what to do with myself. So, what I've decided to do is do a little tour of the English castles in my area. So, there's about 7 or 8 castles in the sort of vicinity of where I live, roughly within about a sort of 30-40 mile radius around North Yorkshire. So I'm on Camille, the English motorcycle, Triumph Thruxton R, and I am going for a ride around some beautiful English roads to visit some English castles in support of the England football team. Come on, England! It might not be much, but it's my small contribution to the success of this England team. What a team! This castle I'm including because it's where I had my wedding reception. It's a hotel now. It's only a small castle, but it's still a castle. Walworth Castle. Really lovely building. Here we go. Best Western. So the first castle we just visited there wasn't actually one of the ones on my list, because it is a castle, but it's kind of more, it's just a hotel really. But it does have a castle heritage, Walworth Castle. And the reason I included that castle is because we were riding past it, and I had my wedding reception there 18 years ago. That's where I had my wedding reception. I thought I'd include it on my little tour of the English castles in the beautiful North Yorkshire English countryside on this fine day when England win the European Cup. 55 years since England won a major tournament. Obviously the 1966 World Cup. I wasn't even born then, and I have to say, throughout my whole life, watching the England team play football has been like torture. But this current team, they look like they can actually do it. They're a good team. They're a good team with good management, and they're not just doing good football. The message, the positive message that they're sending out to the world is fantastic. I love it. Is someone chopping onions in my helmet? Hey, stop it! It's just football, man. It's just football. How could I bring the Ducati today? There's no way I couldn't ride the Ducati today. Italian motorbike. Had to be Camille. Had to be the Thruxton. Had to be the beautiful Triumph. Let's have a Triumph later on today, boys. Come on, let's have a Triumph in the football. I normally refer to this bike as being a British bike, but not today. Oh no, today she's English. This is an English bike. This is like when Andy Murray's playing tennis. When he's playing tennis and he's winning, he's British. When he's losing, he's Scottish. Today, Camille, with the French name, probably made in Thailand, is English. Anyway, next castle on the list, which was going to be the first, but has now become the second, is Raby Castle. And Raby Castle is a lovely castle. Very, very sort of intact and in a good state of repair. A fine example of an English castle. Oh, look at the name of the place ahead. Barnard Castle. Barnard Castle. There must be a castle at Barnard Castle. Of course, if you're from down south, which I am, it's Barnard Castle. But I've been up north so long, probably 25, 26 years. 26, 1995, yes, 26 years, that my vowels have sharpened to the northern way of speaking. So Barnard Castle is Barnard Castle. Newcastle is Newcastle, not Newcastle. Union flag. Hey, come on England! England! Incidentally, Barnard Castle is on the list, but that's not where we're going first. We're going first to Raby Castle. I said castle instead of castle. Raby Castle. I'm confused. So confusing being a southerner up north. Raby Castle. And here we are. We're now heading in towards our third castle on the list. Barnard Castle, where Dominic Cummings famously drove to illegally during the lockdown to test that his eyesight was okay. We're heading into Barnard Castle, where there is, yes, you've guessed it, a castle. When I've taken the dirt bike out in the green lanes, it's Barnard Castle that we normally set off from. In fact, it's that garage that we normally set off from, because this is the gateway to the Dales here. And there we have it. No vehicles beyond this point. Not allowed down there. As I left relatively early this morning, the first few castles we've been to don't open till 10 o'clock, so we haven't been able to go sort of too close. So it's actually turning into a tour of castle gates. Have you noticed that I say castle sometimes and castle other times? I hadn't noticed that. Sometimes it just seems wrong coming out of my mouth as castle, and other times, like when I say the names of castles, like Barnard Castle, it sounds wrong coming out of my mouth as castle. Barnard Castle just does not feel right anymore. But then when I'm talking about castles, it kind of feels a bit wrong saying castles. Hey, first world problem. So we are now on to Bolton Castle. Castle Bolton. Slight change of plan. The route that the sat-nav's taken me has brought me right through Richmond. And Richmond Castle was one of the castles on the list. So I think it's going to be Richmond Castle first. Richmond Castle is an impressive castle. Right up on the top of a hill where all good castles should be. In fact, Richmond is derived from Richmont, Rich Hill. Obviously from when the Normans were in England, and we were essentially French. Closed again. Pity, because it's lovely in there. Oh well. Well, I'm enjoying this little jaunt. I might even do it again when they're open. That'll be even better. So that was Richmond Castle. Next on the list, Bolton Castle, which is 20 minutes away apparently, 11.9 miles. Should be a lovely ride between here and there. We're back in the Dales now, where I love to ride. Back in Dales. It's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home. So we're now heading into Midland because there's a castle here. Midland Castle. Hold up, hold up. Ah, there it is. How can I miss that? Bit of a foot up, Yui. Yeah, there we go. And here we have it. Midland Castle. Childhood and favourite home of Richard III. There you go. There's a little bit of history for you. Home of Richard III. These are race horses. There's a lot of racehorse stables around here. Well, I'm homeward bound now. That concludes my little mini tour of, turns out to be 6 castles in very close proximity to where I live. Turns out I think they're all within a 30-mile radius. So I've marked this English day by bringing an English bike out on some beautiful English roads in the English Yorkshire Dales to some English castles in support of our glorious England football team, who are going to beat the Italians this evening at Wembley. Come on, England! My prediction, 2-1 England. Gonna be a good game though. Anyway, thanks for coming on this little mini tour with me. I hope it's been enjoyable. I hope it's distracted your mind for a little short while off of the nail-biting tension of having to wait for 8 o'clock this evening when we kick off. Enjoy the game, everybody, and good luck to England!